let us do a quick acceleration test over here. There you go. You have a continuous rev range. So if you're going over here, and obviously this has ADAS as well, so if it detects a lane, it's showing lane departure. Hi guys and welcome to Drive Spark. I'm Promeet and the car that you see behind me is the latest generation of the Honda City, and in today's video we are going to tell you how this car drives, what are the price of the car, what all features do you get. So let's quickly begin and start this video. So that is how the key of the Honda City looks like, and let me give you a quick tour of how this car actually looks like. It's a pretty decent looking car, and this car has been one of the favorite sedans in the Indian market. And if you talk about the pricing of this car carries a starting price of rupees 12.3 lakhs and goes all the way up to the 16.55 lakh mark. That is the ex-showroom. So let us start talking from the front end. You get an LED headlight, LED DRLs, LED indicators, LED fog lamp at the front. You don't get a radar. Well, however, you get a camera over there. That's called the Honda Sensing. Honda likes to call the Honda Sensing. It's not a radar based, it's a camera based ADAS function that you get with this car, and that is how the front lip looks like. You get these front splitter, again some fake carbon fiber going on. That is how the grille looks like. You get this chrome bit at the front. And if we come at the side, you can see over here you get these 16-inch wheels. Again, looks pretty nice, diamond cut wheels. Body colored ORVM chrome door handles. And on top, if you see, you get this shark fin antenna, and you also get this, that's a small sunroof. So that is how the car looks like from the side profile. Pretty decent amount of ground clearance as well. If you come at the rear, you get this spoiler. Apart from that, you get the IV Tech badge, the City badge. You do not get the variant badge, but this is the top line variant. Again, you get a diffuser kind of a finish at the rear with some fake carbon fiber going on, but it actually looks good. However, if this was in gloss black, it would have looked even better. That is how the boot looks like. It's a 506 litre of boot space, pretty decent boot space, and you also get these wrapped around tail lights as well. Okay, let's start off with the rear section. So that is how the rear section looks like, and you get 3 headrests. They are not adjustable. However, these headrests, you get an armrest, you get bottle holders over here. That's your rear AC vent. That is your storage space for your phone and some magazine, and that is how door looks like. So let's start off with the cluster over here. So the cluster you see over there, that is a digital one. This is an analog one. If you let me just switch off and switch on the car once again, so you can see. So that is how it starts up. That's the steering wheel. You get a round steering wheel. Got a good chunky steering wheel, steering mounted controls on either sides, and you get your automatic climate control with a screen over here. So that is your wireless charger. But if you notice, there is no cup holders. Now that is a fitment. If you just lift this up, there you go, those are cup holders. If you don't need a cup holders, you need a wireless charger, just put this and put this in the 12-volt socket. You get some charging sockets over here as well. Some kind of wood finish over here. That's obviously not real wood. That's your glove compartment, and some storage space over here to keep your phone. You get an auto dimming IRVM over here. There you go. Again, that's your vanity mirror with no lights. That is your sunroof. It's a pretty decent sunroof. It's a small sunroof just in case if you need some more light inside the cabin. And that is how the front seat looks like. The front seat are very comfortable. They are not electrically adjustable. However, the driver's seat is adjustable for height as well. If we talk about the steering wheel has a tilt and a telescopic. Both functions are there in the steering wheel. And before you drive off, let me just show you. So you have to go to your safety support, and you need to switch off the collision mitigation braking system, because this actually gives a warning and then brakes automatically, which is a little scary sometimes. So you can do that. Again, you have your road departure mitigation. You can keep that on. And there are a ton of things that you can scroll through this, so I just keep it on range and fuel. If you see the fuel economy right now, it's at 13.4. 13.5 is a pretty decent mileage for a sedan like this within the city, so I think that's a pretty good mileage figure. However, Honda claims it to be around 18, but around 18 is what you will get on the highway, not within the city. If within the city, the max you can pull off is 14 with stop and go traffic. AC again is very powerful. Let me tell you, whether you keep it on like 21 or maybe on 25, it cools the cabin down immediately. That's why your AC controls some buttons over here. And again, touch is pretty decent, not very good, but one thing I would say, they could have given a slightly better camera. You get guidelines, but don't get adaptive guidelines over here. You get one more camera, and that is your blind spot monitoring camera. So if you hit this indicator on the left, you will see that the screen goes on. This feed is from that camera over there. So just in case if you want to see a little closer, because the visibility from that mirror is a little less compared to this mirror, since this is closer to you. And what if you are like driving with the maps on, and obviously suddenly this comes up and you need to see the map? Well, you just press this button over here. If you press it, it will go off. And if you are driving and if you don't need to give the indicator, and if you want to see what's going on the left, you again just press this button, and as you press it, you can see you get the feed from that camera. So now let's quickly go and drive this car. Let me tell you a quick specification brief as well. So if we talk about the engine, let me just show you the gearbox. So this is P, R, N, D, and you also have S. This button over here which says Econ, this is not your sport mode or your eco mode. This is your economy mode for your air conditioning basically, so it helps you save a little bit of fuel. So now let's start driving, and let me tell you a quick brief about what you get with the new City, the latest generation of the City. So again, engine wise, it's a 1.5 liter naturally aspirated engine. It pumps out around 120 bhp of power, 145 Nm of peak torque. Gearbox options are two, as I told you. One is a manual and one is an automatic. That's a CVT gearbox that we are driving. Mileage wise, as I mentioned, 13.5 to 14 is what you'll get in the city. Right now we get 13.4, and yeah, on the highway, if you have a light foot, I think you can get close to around maybe 17 to 18, and that is pretty nice. Well, I have also driven this on the highway, and I think 17.5 is what we could achieve at a speed of around 100, 110. We are cruising at that. Again, you get cruise control. As I told you, you get level 2 ADAS. Honda likes to call it the Honda Sensing. But yeah, it is a camera based system. There is no radar over there. So again, that is one thing. Let us do a quick acceleration test over here. And since this is a CVT gearbox, the acceleration is pretty nice. There is no lag. Rubber band effect is a little less also. And let's come to a standstill. And let's floor this thing once. There you go. You have a continuous rev range. AAA speeds reached 100, no problem whatsoever. 120. Braking is also pretty nice, and after 120 you will start hearing this beep. So again, braking is also good. You get a front disc brake and a rear drum setup. If we talk about the suspension of the vehicle, the suspension is actually very nice. And if you talk about the steering wheel, let me just take a turn and show it to you with just one hand. I mean, the steering wheel is not that heavy. It does not weigh up, but it is set at a very right kind of a position where it is not that heavy or it is not that light also. Especially cruising on the highway, you will just feel so relaxed. It takes all the bumps and potholes immediately. Well, it's a very good car, I must say. That is why most Indians have chosen their sedan to be the Honda City, whether from the first generation to this is the 5th generation one. So once again, price wise, if we talk 12 and 12.3 lakh ex showroom to 16.5 lakh ex showroom is what you will get. And then after that you have the EHEV, that is the hybrid version of this. Now this is obviously NA, and it's mated to a CVT gearbox, but you have a manual as well as in this. So if you're going over here, and obviously this has ADAS as well, so if it detects a lane, it's showing lane departure. So it will correct the steering wheel and it will tell you that yeah, you are going off the lane and you should be in the lane. So that's again a very good feature, but I personally don't really like it. Let me just demonstrate it over here. So right now there are 2 lanes over here, as you can see, and if I just wave off to the right and I leave the steering wheel, watch what happens. So it will detect and it will correct the car, but it will give you a warning. Again, it's going to the right and again it's correcting itself. So after some time, if you don't hold the steering wheel, you will start hearing beeps. Again, it's going to the left, it's correcting to the right, and that is the beep that you're hearing. So yeah, safety wise also it's a pretty good car. So comment below if you like this video, and if you need to know anything else about the new city, we are more than happy to answer all your questions. I'm Pramit signing out. See you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, be safe, and drive safe. Triple A speeds reached 100, no problem whatsoever.